episode 3 because 2 and 3, 1 did not record properly. Today, we're building Mesopotamia.
Main out here be David Attenborough.
Yes.
More like David Attenborough.
The planet is
Ocelot!
dying, and you are the one that
I gotta kill the
reasons
Ocelot.
why.
I gotta kill the Ocelot.
Well, they're useless now, aren't they?
Ocelot! I think you can tame them, but I don't remember.
I think it's like foxes, they're useless.
Yeah, I think they're more like foxes now, which really sucks. It's like Ocelots were so cool because it's like the whole point of them. Like they kind of made you want to go to the jungle to go get cats because cats, were good for creeper farms and stuff. But now they're just a thing that kills chickens.
They're pretty useless.
Yeah. I'm getting the bumble.
The bumble from
The bumble.
Cook jungle.
I think we're having dinner soon. So,
I don't know when I'm having dinner. Is there a pause recording function? No, it's not.
No, it just will stop recording.
I might just, I'll stop the recording and then, because I just wanted to start building Mesopotamia. Sorry, all the hanging gardens. I put the picture that I'm going to base it off in the,
That's the hanging gardens.
Yeah.
Make sure you base it off the one from Civ 6.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you so should.
I will lose my mind.
Do it.
I like my sanity.
Lose your mind.
No.
Bro, you're in year 12. You can't have sanity.
I'm part of the... Yeah.
I'm part of the year.
Yeah, it's pretty bad right now with it all.
Yeah.
Like, we just handed in an English assessment, and now Miss is like, oh, yeah, I'm writing up your new one, you'll get it next week. And I'm like, Miss.
Yeah.
And she's like, we're trying to base it off HSC, so it's like an essay, and that's all it is.
Yeah, welcome to year 12.
It's not nice.
No, it's really not.
There's not much of a reason to do it either.
Yeah, especially because most universities don't actually even take your ATAR anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, no.
The whole point of the ATAR...
UAC came and then the other day, and they were like, oh yeah, we still use it. And I'm like, because otherwise how
but it's not to the same degree. Yeah,
but like... I was like, okay, then why are people saying that then if it's not being...
UAC doesn't... UOW doesn't. Like, they had a whole... Like, last HSC, you'll see them again this year. They had so many ads. I was pretty much guaranteed to get, like, 5 of these ads every day on YouTube saying, robots need an reply. We care about you, not your radar.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Which, I love that they were comparing it to robots and, like, autonomous and stuff. And I was like, because that's exactly what it is.
What do you mean?
Well, it's standardized learning. It's basically makes humans robots. Have you ever looked into the whole thing of standardized learning and like why it exists and stuff?
It exists because it's for the Industrial Revolution, isn't it?
Yeah. Because the whole thing, that's the whole reason why you sit in organized seating plans. You have ranks from F to A, or it used to be E to A, because that's how it used to be in factories. You'd have your allocated spot just for you, spaced out from everyone else. You get performance rankings from E to A, and you needed to know, well, pretty much the things they teach you now. Basic history, basic mathematics, basic English, and then they expanded into stuff like science, chemistry, and stuff like that. Just basic fundamentals, which that's why they don't teach you stuff like how to do your finances, because back then you didn't need to because you didn't have any. But nowadays, it's
different.
Yeah, that's why you have standardized testing. Everyone gets the same test. Everyone's taught the same way. That's why it's called standardized learning, because back in factory, like Industrial Revolution with your factories, everything was standardized. So you needed standardized learning. Now that we've gone from a labor workforce to a service workforce and, non-standardized work, standardized learning doesn't work when you have non-standardized work.
True that.
That's why the education system is dumb. At least it's not America.
That's true.
Actually, no, our education is worse than America by a long shot.
We're technically a third world education system, but we have like first world things.
We have third world education, third world economics, third world emissions regulations, but first world nothing. The only first world thing No. We don't even have first world healthcare. The only first world thing we have is our economy, which is currently crashing, and stuff like superannuation.
The only reason why our economy is going good right now is because China's
No,
flooding
no,
it.
no. Our economy is still falling.
Is it?
It has, yeah. Well, as far as I know, I mean, you do economics, but like as
No,
far as I know,
our economy isn't in as much as a free. The only reason our economy is currently like alive is because
mm,
China is buying a shit ton of iron right now because
mm.
they're
Well,
making tons of stuff for
mm.
space.
Well, that's
And also, you know what? One of their
mm.
rockets is coming crashing back down into Australia. And my first thought when I saw that was, oh, that was on purpose, wasn't it? Because we've been
Yeah,
pissing them off.
yeah.
I wouldn't be
Because
surprised.
ScoMo's trying to start a war.
Honestly, I kind of hope he does because I think it'd be funny to read about it later afterwards going, ha.
After we get invaded by China.
Well, I mean, all hail Supreme Leader.
Oh hell, Supreme Reduc. We need a poo.
Kim Jong-un.
No, but
Yeah.
yeah, there was a great video that came out a couple of years ago that I watched called "Why Australia Hasn't Had an Economic Recession in Over 20 Years," and that's including the 2008 financial crisis, where we
Until
were.
now.
Yeah, which is ironic because it was like unless China. I'll get to it. So TLDR, the whole reason is because our economy is based on China's economy. If China's buying our stuff and their economy is doing well, our economy will do well because they buy everything from us. The coal, the iron, all the resources, the cattle, the food, everything.
Yeah.
They buy everything from us. Everything we produce, they buy, which is funny because we don't produce anything anymore. Um,
Well, they still take what we
well,
do
actually,
produce.
the other funny thing too is they own all of our largest industries, so they're basically just buying it from themselves.
It's funny,
Which
isn't
is
it?
why they buy from us because anyway, that's a whole nother tangent.
Yeah, and then they
Um,
start putting tariffs on themselves. Like, why would they do
yeah,
that?
no, they put tariffs on the things that they don't own,
Mm,
like wine and stuff. They don't own that. Anyway, um, so yeah, our economy, and it still is. It's the stupid economy ever. The reason it's doing well is because China is always growing because the way China keeps
we're
its
going,
economic growth.
we're going to experience a crash, and I'm honestly think,
So we're going to experience a crash so devastating it'll beat the 2008 financial crisis without fail. And because we don't have great economic leaders, because we don't have the Labour Party, it's going to be awful. I'm getting a phone call. Yes. Okay, it's dinner time.
yeah.
Um,
Labor's probably going to get in next time anyway because of
I hope so.
all the sexual
I
crises
Yeah, I
and
saw it
stuff.
out of Albo the other day, and I was actually excited.
I can't wait.
I was like, Brittany, it's Albert. She goes, who? I was like, Albanese. She goes, who? The Labour opposition. She goes, oh, him.
What is
I was
coming?
like,
That's what.
but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. So as long as China's economy is built on basically how we survived the financial crash, just build things.
And also slave labor. You forget that.
Yeah, that too. But it's China's all. That's why they have so many ghost cities. They're just building, 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 building. And as long as they're building stuff, that creates jobs, which creates money. And they're buying things, and then they're paying workers, and workers can go spend money, and it's just that it's create, build random things even though they're not needed, which gives people jobs, which pays people, which gets people to buy things, which then it's just an endless cycle. That's how we survived the 2008 financial crisis. Kevin Rudd gave everyone a whole ton of money, everyone went and bought stuff, kept businesses going.
Gonna buy a Panasonic TV. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, bro. So as long as that keeps going, we'll be fine. But then COVID happened, and that stopped. And guess what happened? Our economy crashed.
Yeah, it's true. It's
So
all true, man.
so eventually China will stop buying stuff from us, and we're stuffed.
That's happening now.
Yeah,
I
pretty
re-
much. China's already they don't buy our coal
They're
anymore.
actively looking for ways to get rid of us because they're
Yeah,
sick and tired of us.
China's switching to renewables, which means they will. China is our biggest buyer of iron, steel-based products, and coal. So they're switching to renewables. China is switching to renewables, which is a
We're
big
not.
deal because we're still selling them coal and we're not switching to renewables. So once they fully switch over to renewables, or at least 50%, we're stuffed. Once
Yeah.
they decide, okay, we don't need to build as much stuff anymore, they will stop buying our steel and iron, we're stuffed.
We're so heavily reliant on them that we're just.
Well, yeah,
saying-
we're so heavily reliant on them. When as soon as they go, yeah, we need about 50% economic crash.
I think they know that.
Anyway,
They
I'm gonna.
just know.
Oh
That
yeah, of course I
playing.
know that.
Okay, you go have your dinner.
I'm gonna have my dinner.
I'm
Bye.
gonna do a quick time lapse as I dig out the sand.
Oh, Skyler moment. Milkshake.
The day is approaching to give it your best, and you've got to reach your prime. That's when you need to put yourself to the test and show us the passage of time. We're gonna need a montage, a sports training montage. Show a lot of things happening at once. Remind everyone of what's going on.
Oh, that actually scared me. I've just been listening to music and building for like ages.
I knew that would scare you, and I was like, I must do the throwback of when I used to do that to you.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
no, I'd rather
you know.
forget. I think it's blacked out of my mind.
Yeah, just the every time I'd come back from from being AFK, like dinner or shower or something, I'd just go "Ah!" and just scream into the mic.
Cut out.
Well, you got to remember now, I can't do it like I used to because I don't have my Razer headset mic, so I can't do the funny haha slap mic. I've got my studio mic,
Yeah,
so it's like, yeah,
because while you were gone, I was just listening to a video about what happened to Carson.
oh yeah. Did someone
Yeah.
actually make a video now?
Well, yeah. Well,
Oh, I forgot I was on top of a tree.
hold on. I don't have it anymore, I don't think. But I'm building right now, and I'd rather
Yeah.
focus on this. But essentially, he's made 4 appearances in like the last 4 weeks.
Oh yeah. Well, I know one was the what's he
Ludwig.
stream?
Ludwig
Yeah.
stream. And then there was another one where he literally
Oh.
just posted a video on his Instagram
I have no game sound.
of just like a cat, and he was like, "Ooh," and he was just laughing at it playing. And then he was like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have posted. I forgot." And then he deleted it like after 8 minutes, and everyone's like, "What's going on? Is he back? Colby Carson's back. Not clickbait." And then
Call me Carson is back. No clickbait.
not clickbait. And then the last news that we've had is Call Me Carson is in therapy, according to Connie Eats Pants. And he's like,
Oh, okay.
he's in therapy, he's doing well, and he doesn't know if he's coming back or not. And if he's in therapy,
Which
he's saying like, oh, he's getting better, and it's like, that makes sense. That's good.
I
I hope he's doing well, because as bad as
it's
it is that with the relationship or whatever, I don't care anymore. I hope he's okay mentally. But,
I mean it's my game's a bit
yeah.
it's always it's always something to care about because it was a bad thing, but it's at the same time it's like when people say like, oh, will he come back or not, it's like, firstly, I don't know if he ever could, in the sense that because of his public reputation.
Well,
Like he absolutely could, but his public reputation is just destroyed. But to be fair, look at the PewDiePie situation. Like what happened to him, and he came back from it, so it's not impossible.
I think
But
as bad as it
what?
is, his YouTube career is over. I think it's kind of good that he can finally get the mental health that he's needed, because he's always been like, he's always dipped every once in a while because he's just been like not mentally sound and like just needed.
I mean, he was never. Well, that's the thing, is he was never a mentally sound person to begin. Oh, I just tapped out the game. Never a mentally sound person in the first place. So you kind of can't really compare that. But what makes me think like what makes the situation awkward for him is I don't know. Considering considering all the stuff he did on YouTube and the fact that he had a
I don't
YouTube
know
and
him.
Twitch career.
You don't know him. We don't know anything about him really. He's just a
No,
guy.
but let me finish.
Okay.
Considering all the stuff he did on YouTube, I'm talking just the YouTube videos in general, and all the Twitch streams, and then the controversy that he's gone through. I don't know. What I don't know. Jobs outside of YouTube and not being a content creator, I think it would be very difficult for him to find one. Because that sort of background, especially because his name was used for like his actual name was used, it'd be very easy to look into it because a lot of employees do that. They look up just your name and stuff to see what comes up, which is why a lot of people use aliases. And because his
I
actual
search Carson
name,
King, immediately pops up with him.
yeah,
And
exactly,
what did Call Me Carson do?
exactly. So it'll be very, very difficult for him to get an actual job outside of being a content creator. So it puts him in between a rock and a hard place. I doubt he wants to come back to doing content creation. I very much doubt that because of everything that happened. Both because I doubt he'd want to because of the mental pressures and all that stuff, but also his ruined reputation and all the stuff, and running the risk of it happening again, and just basically going through it a second time around because history always repeats itself.
I think.
But I don't know if he has a choice because I don't know if he would be able to get a job. Like he might if they don't look into his past. But that's relying on, they're not doing a background check, which is, it's a fairly common thing nowadays.
Yeah. But, I think he'll come back.
I think he will too, but that's what I'm ultimately getting to. I think he will, but not because he wants to.
Well, the thing is, he has said in podcasts before, and they literally listed it. It showed clips of him saying "It's my dream to be a content creator, dream to be a YouTuber," and all that sort of thing. And I'm like, oh, that's great, but see how it turned out.
Yeah, exactly. It's that was his dream, but look how his dream turned out. It literally ruined his life, but not because the dream itself, it's because he ruined the dream. If that makes sense.
Well, if I'm perfectly honest, the kind of, I don't know how bad it was or anything. I know that it was a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old, and
I actually don't remember the details. It's been that long.
Well, that's what they spoke about in the video. He was in a relationship with a 17 to 19-year-old, and then he told all of his friends about it.
It wasn't so much that he was in a relationship. It was like a friends with benefits type thing, minus the friends, and it wasn't exactly mutual. And there was no consent. It was, but yeah, it was just
Okay, well,
it wasn't a relationship. They weren't dating, so you can't call it a relationship.
No.
Because if they were dating,
I don't know all the details, and I understand that there's a power dynamic and whatnot, but at the same time, he was not mentally well, and
yeah.
I'm glad.
But it doesn't excuse it. But it's good that he's getting better.
I'm glad he's getting better, but still, I hope he's okay.
It's yeah.
I hope the people that he's hurt are okay as well. Because that's still horrible. What he did.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, we don't even know the full extent because he hasn't come out and said anything about it. And
well, the reason I'd think he never came out and said anything about it is because there was nothing to be said.
If he said anything, it would just make things worse, really.
Absolutely. Well, think about
Guy. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say Mini Lad.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's
the stuff that came out on him.
Learn.
Well, not just that. It was the reason I personally believe the reason Carson never came out and said anything about it because it was all true. So what could he say about it? There's no point him chiming in and saying anything about it. But with Mini Lad, he tried to cover it up, which just made it worse.
He's still going, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still going. He's made 3 apology videos, and every time I go in there, the top comment is, Your Honor, my client pleads oopsie daisy. It's always the top comment.
Your Honor, my client can't be the imposter. He was in electrical the entire time. Hey, yo, that's cat. I was in electrical.
That's pretty much. You basically just summed up Mini Lad's apology videos.
Yeah, I don't need to watch it because I know that he didn't, Carson knew it was wrong. And he told his friends that. And I think he told them that because he felt horrible about it and he wanted them to help him. And
it's kind of...
from my understanding of what the Slap video says as well.
My brain wants to compare it to EDP, where it was he realized it was wrong, but in EDP's situation, EDP kept going, while Carson was like, no, time to stop.
Okay, Here's the thing, though.
I mean, he continued for a little bit and then stopped.
EDP got caught in the act,
Hmm.
but for Carson, the only reason it came out was because he was trying to get himself better, but then it just didn't happen.
And he kept going.
He kept going, but he was trying to get help at the same time, and that's therapy. But,
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
still bad.
The thing is though, I don't remember if I ever saw a video on this or not. I don't know if you could or even should class him as a pedo, like, because it's so difficult to define. Like, I don't think he was like, I'm specifically going to target underage fans.
Okay.
I
well,
think
the thing
I
is,
think it was more
we-
just
We don't really know. Sorry, I don't know because I haven't done the research, and anything that I say right now is
I
an
looked into it a little bit.
uneducated person talking, and do not take any of this seriously and just go, "This is a grain of salt." Yeah, but essentially, I just like go and looked at the situation and went, "This seems like it's been blown a bit out of proportion because of cancel culture and whatnot." And
But not
this
just
could-
that, it's because Carson was such a big YouTuber / Twitch streamer.
Yeah, but remember, like, looking at, like, Twitter and going, like, damn, I can't believe that, like, I can't believe you've done this. It's just such a big thing that's been blown out of proportion. And it's like every couple of months now, because now everyone's like, who's going to be the next child predator on YouTube? Like, this month was EDP.
Because you had
Mini Lad?
Pyrocynical, Pyrocynical, Mini Lad.
Pyrocynical proved his innocence. That's the difference.
I remember hearing, because I never actually looked into it, but I remember Pyrocynical eventually made a video on it, and it was basically the same thing as Mini Lad. My client played Oopsie Daisy, where it was just a whole bunch of crap. But
No,
like,
that video came out, and then it literally just, like, showed everything. And then he, like, used the Wayback Machine to check the Twitter account. And then he was like, yeah, I didn't ask for age, because he literally was like, yeah, it was cringe, furry, like, fat inflation roleplay stuff, and he didn't ask, because he was just shitposting most of it. And then he was like, I'm sorry, all that really came out was people just figured out that he's, like, fat furries, and that's it. That's all that came out.
I do remember that. Because I remember seeing all the memes about it. I was like, okay, cool. And I knew it was related to it, but I didn't know the extent of it. But yeah, I do remember a lot of people being like, they don't believe it. Like, they still don't believe that he's telling the truth. Like, the Mini Lad one was obviously disingenuous.
My tea's
But
I'm having
hey,
lasagna.
I found a desert temple finally.
You sure it's not the one I'm building now?
Ha 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 ha.
Okay, I might end my episode here. Thank
Yeah,
you
but
for watching,
it's
and we will see
a
you
very-
after I eat lasagna.
Oh, Lazaga.
Lasagna.
Me Gungaga.
Me? Gaga. It's actually a town or something, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until recently.
Yeah, so the whole joke is like they're
Where are
talking
you
about like
from?
where they're
Me?
and it's like
Gaga.
yeah, it just sounds really stupid, which is why people found it funny.
Okay, the door.
I have found
2x1 hole.
oh, Curse of Vanishing. That sucks. I found a saddle though and a golden apple and an emerald.